if you apply too much pressure to discipline, it backfires. You don't need a rock to crack an egg. That's exactly what we are doing with ourselves with discipline. And today we are going to talk about two types of discipline and 6 core human needs and how those tie back to discipline, and why none of the most disciplined people on the planet, like Elon Musk, like David Goggins, like late Kobe Bryant, were not disciplined but actually doing something completely opposite. So what are the two types of discipline? One is the F discipline, the other one is P discipline. F does not stand for what you think. F stands for force discipline. P stands for power discipline. What are the differences between two and how to distinct them and actually how to use them? You're gonna get all of those answers by the end of this video, and then you'll be able to apply discipline to your life and then use it as an ultimate fuel to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. How is discipline actually tied to 6 core human needs and what those are? That's what we are going to dive in first. 6 core human needs are the main drivers of human behavior. So if you have an irrational human behavior that you cannot explain 99.999% of the times, because it just depends of who is the observer deconstructing the behavior, you can boil it down to one of these 6 core human needs. So any irrational behavior can be tied back to these, and you immediately get the explanation of why the person is doing what he is doing or she is doing and how it's tied back to these core 6 human needs. So now, going back to Goggins and Musk and late Kobe Bryant, they had their discipline tied so strongly into those 6 core human needs that they do not, that urge to feel like they are constantly pushing against the wall. For all of us, quote unquote, normal human beings, the discipline became this toxic thing that started implying how, in order to achieve anything worthwhile, you need to go against yourself. That's complete and utter bullshit. From 2014, I spent good 4.5 years studying 12 to 15 hours per day every single day while having my first and my second child. And I was doing it without feeling disciplined. I was doing it from the place of pleasure and from the place of one of those 6 core human needs, which is the first one, and that is significance. This is a drive to become someone. This is a drive to achieve something. This is a drive to feel like you are that someone in someone else's eyes. And that's usually your family members, maybe your dad, your mom. Most of the times it's that. Maybe your brother, maybe significant other. Maybe it's the kids from the school that told you that you will never amount for anything. Then maybe the high school teacher that you wanted to prove wrong. If that rings a bell, that's like the story of Kobe Bryant, that's the story of Michael Jordan. And for me, that was also like that in 2014, 2015, when I started studying like a madman. It turned out that it was this. I was feeling huge amount of pleasure and significance and feeling unique and like I'm better than anyone else because I've been spending 12 and 15 hours a day studying. This is without earning a dime, by the way, like 4.5 years without earning a single cent from learning. At the time I'm 28 and I'm working full-time in an insurance company, and as I said, I'm having my first and second child. So if that discipline of 10, 12, 15 hours per day, even while I was on work, I was studying, and while I was traveling to work, I was studying, and I was writing things down while commuting, and I was like waking up in the middle of the night and doing the same, and then waking up at 5 a.m. just to do the same. It wasn't discipline. It wasn't discipline when that clock ringed, when that alarm clock ringed. It wasn't like, go ahead up and be like the monster. No, it was like, yes, I get to do what I'm about to do in the next 2-3 hours before work. So that's a huge difference compared to what's being served to us on social media. It's not like, hey, just be disciplined, just be disciplined. What does that mean, dude? You can be that for a day or 2 or 3 or 5. But then if you go to see how the dudes that are working out feel, they are driving huge amount of pleasure from those workouts. They are feeling unique. They are feeling like they're better than anyone else. And then the second thing that I felt when I just started was the second driver and the second human need, which is growth. If you can feel like by being disciplined, you are growing, nothing is going to stop you to be disciplined. You will be jumping out of the bed and you will be like, I have to optimize everything in my life to support this thing that I'm after because it feels so amazing. Feels. That's the secret. It needs to feel amazing. It needs to feel like you're doing better than others. It needs to feel like you're growing. And if you look at, let's say, Elon Musk or David Goggins or Kobe Bryant, who are again arguably the most disciplined people on the planet, they're driving huge amounts of significance from their discipline. They're driving huge amount of growth from their discipline. And then you have the third one, which like this is just going to get better and better and better and better. The third one is contribution. How are you contributing to the well-being of others by doing what you're doing? If your discipline is tied to contribution, like it's for Elon Musk, for example, and like it was for like Kobe Bryant, they had that insane drive. If you ever listened to his interviews, which I hope you did, you could hear him talk about, hey, there's someone in that audience who was saving up for the entire year to come and watch me, and then I show up and I have like 7 points and 2 rebounds. I'm not going to allow that. That's contribution. And that's how he was disciplined. That's how he was waking up at 3:30 to go and work out and then be in the gym for the next 3-4 hours when he loses the game and then shoots for like 2,000 made shots and stuff like that. That's how Elon is capable of performing like those feats of strength that he's performing, because he feels that he's contributing so much to the world that it's insane. So that's his huge driver. If you watch Goggins talk about his superhuman achievement, watch his face. That's expression of pride. He's not like, I'm disciplined against myself. Is he doing the things that are extremely hard? 100%, no doubt. But for you, that's a pure torture. For him, that's significance, that's growth, that's contribution. Then the fourth one, if you can derive this one from your discipline, you're going to be off to the races. Fourth one is love and connection. Discipline is a bit harder to tie to that, but if you're getting incredible amount of love from someone by being disciplined, they are showing so much appreciation because you are performing those crazy feats of strength and because you're so disciplined, and then you have the feeling of connection because when you go to run at like 5:30 in the morning, you are there with 12 other people who are just as you are, and 13 of you guys are connecting, and then you're coming up with the great ideas, then you're coming up with the business plans, then you're coming up with the ways to make money, or there is someone who you fell in love with, then you are being disciplined for the entire world out there. For all of the outside observers, you are this crazy disciplined person, but you are actually driving some of or all of these from your discipline. In 2015, 2016, when I was doing the things that I just mentioned, all of my friends thought I'm some kind of a lunatic, that I'm some kind of an alien. They were like, dude, you were playing video games and you were watching like TV the entire day and all the movies and all the sports games, and now you're not doing any of that. Like I used to play like 15 hours of video games straight, and it was done. I was like, no more. But at that time, I was like, yes, I am disciplined. But it wasn't that. I started getting these from my discipline. Was that I was getting these from reading the crazy amount of books. By the age of 28, just to give you the proper frame, I read grand total of 3 books. 28 years, 3 books. From 28 to 29, I read 60. That's more than a book a week. How does that happen? It is not discipline. It is impossible. Then all of this is tied back to the size of your dopamine receptors, which is something that we will cover in another video. Let's get to number 5 and number 6. So number 5 is certainty. So if your discipline is giving you certainty that you're gonna do good, then no one on the face of planet will be able to make you change your mind. If certainty is super high, like if certainty is number 1 for you here, so let's say that certainty for you is like at the top of the list, top certainty, and like for you, the most important thing, like almost no high achievers have this human need anywhere close to the top. They are all about variety, which is the sixth human need. But if you have certainty, and then your discipline is giving you certainty that you are going to be good, that your family is going to be fed, that you're going to have roof above your head, that all the bills are going to be paid, you're going to be a monster in other people's eyes, because you're going to be doing this crazy stuff, but you're simply certain that you're going to be good by being disciplined. And discipline is not explained like that. Like the two types of discipline that we'll discuss in a moment, we are all in force. We are forcing ourselves to be disciplined. It is impossible. The behavior needs to be tied to one of these. And then the last one, the sixth one, is variety. So variety is the last one, but if you watch Goggins, if you watch Kobe Bryant, if you watch Elon Musk, if you watch all of those crazy high achievers, this is super high for them. Imagine the variety that Elon Musk is driving from trying to launch the rocket on the moon. It's insane. Imagine the variety of buying different businesses and facing different people and letting go like 80% of the staff of one of the biggest social media out there and still being it better than it used to be, and all that crazy stuff. Imagine the variety of playing against a different opponent every other night in NBA and being able to prove yourself that you're still the best of the best of the best. This is their secret. This is your discipline. These six are discipline. Like this is the key. If you don't tie your discipline to one of these six, it is impossible to be disciplined against yourself all the time. So when I say impossible, this is exactly what do I mean. What do I mean by that is you have F and you have P. This one is where all the leverage is. This one is highly questionable. You can force yourself to start something, but you cannot force yourself to be consistent, which is the name of every single game out there. The name of the game of business, the name of the game of abs, the name of the game of relationship is being consistent with the good behaviors that are producing the results that you're after. And then being consistent over and over and over and over and over and over again. With the forced discipline, you won't be able to sustain that. It will feel like someone is smashing your brain with a sledgehammer every single morning, like you're putting it in a freaking blender. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna feel that pit in the stomach, and then that feeling of pressure right here at the top of your neck. That's this discipline. That's the discipline that we are all trying to be in. It doesn't work like that. You have to tie that thing back to your 6 core human needs, and then get the behavior in which you're going to be disciplined. That behavior is producing the 6 core human needs. The behavior is in the middle. You have discipline on one side, you have the core needs on the other, you have the behavior in the middle. And then you pick a behavior, and then behavior, when you be disciplined, that behavior, you're getting your human needs met. And when that happens, no one will be able to stop you. You will be crushing it out there. You will be doing video a day on YouTube. You will be doing 4 posts a day on LinkedIn or on Facebook, or you'll be writing 1,000 to 2,000 to 5,000 words a day, because you're going to be having that behavior tied to one of your core human needs. And that's when you turn it into power discipline. This one is the one that will take you places. This one is going to be the force of nature. And this one is going to be, if you understand how the dopamine receptors work, and how those shrink and go back in size, and then how the focus works, which is something, again, we're going to talk about in another video. This is your shortcut. Consider discipline, but consider discipline in a different way. Don't force yourself. It's too toxic. You won't be able to sustain it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in another one.